Well, hey there, Pastor Jerry, Samaritan's Heart Mission Church. Hope you are doing well. You know, I say that before pretty much every message. I hope you're doing well. What if you are not doing well? And I don't know what that might look like. I mean, there could be a financial challenge in your life. There could be a relationship challenge in your life. There could be emotional challenge in your life, a health challenge in your life. That's usually when we ask that, right? Well, then I want you, let's just take like 10 seconds and think about that. Is there some place in your life, no, Pastor Jerry, I'm not well? Just, I mean, again, it could be any of those categories I already just mentioned, or maybe something I haven't mentioned yet. Then I have a question for you. Would you like to get well? It's a really dumb question. Is it though? Would you like to be healed if it's something that requires healing? Well, of course I do. Are you sure? Because that's what we're going to talk about today, because Jesus asked that question of a man. Would you like to get well? Would you like to be healed? And his answer shows that he didn't understand the question. So maybe you don't understand the question the way that I just posed it to you. Would you like to get well? I've read a couple of books recently by Jesuit priest Father Gregory Boyle. He's, I guess, at least in some circles, famous. He's been on TV a lot, CNN and Dr. Phil. He is a priest, a Jesuit priest at a mission church in the worst of the gang areas of Los Angeles. And he has been there now, I think close to 40 years. And his first book was Tattoos on the Heart. His second book was Bark to the Choir. I've read them both, and there's a lot in it for me in the ministry that we have here at Samaritan's Heart, where we deal with people in addiction and recovery, people re-entering from incarceration, and the unhoused. In Father Boyle's case, he's dealing with hardened criminal gang members, in some cases murderers, or people who have been shot or shot people. The ministry that he has there, it's church, it's a Catholic church, but they also started a business, a silk screening business called Homeboy Industries. And the idea is to give these gang members an opportunity, rather than just give them a handout, the old cliche, a hand up, and it is cliche, but it's really true in this case, in that they are loved. Father Boyle invests in their lives, but they are given something, some hope. Look, you can do this. And the truth of the matter is, it's a pretty generous grading curve. They have to screw it pretty bad to get fired from the Homeboy Industries. Although it has happened. But it gives them the opportunity to get well, in that have some type of normality in their life. But Father Boyle, so let's stick with that question. Do you want to get well? In his second book, Bark to the Choir, page 66, they say in recovery that it takes what it takes for people struggling with addiction to turn their lives around. Homeboy Industries is not for people who want help. Homeboy Industries is not for people who need help. This is big. Not for people who need help, but who want it. After all, a gang member has to walk through our doors. Don't wait to be ready, Father Boyle writes. Decide to be ready. So, do you want to be healed? Do you want to be well? I recently asked that question of someone. Okay? Every time I think you hit rock bottom, you burrow. So I have to ask the question, do you want to be well? The answer was very saddening as much as it was telling. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Yes or no? And then the question came, is it even possible? The answer is yes. But you have to understand it is possible. And you do, in fact, need to want it. And what I've learned the hard way is I can't want it for other people. Try that. Didn't work out well for me. Didn't work out well for them. So, if you go back to that list of the possibilities I asked you from which you want to be made well or healed, do you? Do you want to be healed? So let's go to that moment in the Gospels where Jesus asked that question. It's the Gospel of John. There's a pool. It was believed to be a healing pool. The pool at Bethesda. Now it's seen largely as it was a pagan operation, and the spirits of the water and all of that were supposed to heal you. So Jesus made an appointment to be there one day. Inside the city, near the sheep gate, was the pool of Bethesda with 5 covered porches or colonnades. Crowds of sick people, blind, lame, or paralyzed, lay on the porches. One of them, lying there, had been sick for 38 years, full stop. He's called lame, he's paralyzed. His legs didn't work. And he's just there. And Jesus, and we can know that Jesus didn't pick him at random. Jesus made appointments. He made appointments with the woman at the well. He made appointments with the adulteress. He made appointments with Matthew in his tax collector's booth. He made appointment with Zacchaeus in the tree. These were not accidental. They were quite intentional. When Jesus saw him, he knew he had been ill for a long time. And he asked him. He asked him that question, would you like to get well? The man's answer, as I said earlier, shows that he didn't really understand the question. I can't, sir, the sick man said, for I have no one to put me in the pool when the water bubbles up. When the water stirred up, and that happened periodically, all right, everybody in the pool, and then you would get healed, but not. And then, by the way, this is what not told to us in this story. Did this guy ever see anyone else get healed? In all those years, did he see anyone else getting healed? Jesus is like, no, I'm not here to throw you in the water. You've been trying this for a long time. We're done with that. Over. We're going to try something new. Lesson number 1 here. Do you want to get healed? Stop doing what you've been doing over and over and over and over and over. And getting the same undesired result. Jesus is like, no, that's not what we're doing today. Stand up. Pick up your mat and walk. Ooh. There was no, tell me that you love me. Tell me that you have faith in me. You want to be well because I'm in that business. Jesus is still in that business. So, one version says well, other translations say healed. The word is hyges. Healthy, sound, well, cured, freed. Jesus could have just as easily asked, do you want to be free? Made well, soundness. So let's think about what the guy was using. Because the big thing here, do you want to be well? Have you tried the same thing over and over and over? I don't care if it's to have a healthy relationship, to have a healthy body, to lose weight, to beat an addiction, to beat an obsession, whatever it is. So let's look at what the guy had been trying over and over and over. Bethesda. That's Aramaic for house of mercy. That's the literal translation. So I said, the covered colonnades, and they would have provided shade for the disabled who gathered there. But you see, it was popular because the legend had it, okay, when the water bubbled up, that was an angel stirring it. And what you got was the first person that took advantage of that was made well from whatever it was that made them unwell. But as I said earlier, we don't see anywhere in the Bible where this actually happened. This was the legend. So the superstition, the belief, probably, we're not sure where that came. There was a nearby temple. So this wasn't where if I go in this pool, the God of Abraham is going to cure me. And Jesus is like, but I can do that. Do you want to be healed, made well, freed? Do you want to be free from whatever owns you? And Trish Fenimore, a kind of a Instagram star, said something that has really stuck with me. And this is where you are not free if there's something you're trying to get rid of. If you're trying to control anything in your life, that means at the moment it's controlling you. If you're trying to get something under control, at the moment it's out of control, and in the case of addiction or habit or whatever, it's controlling you. So let's look at the guy's answer again. I can't, sir, the sick man said, for I have no one to put me in the pool when the water bubbles up. Someone else always gets there ahead of me, and the first one in wins every time. Except not really, because it wasn't real. I can't be healed. Translation. What I've been doing hasn't been working for 38 years. 38 years. At least, well, we don't know that for sure. We know that he's been afflicted for 38 years, but we can suspect that he was there a long, long time. This is one of the greatest frustrations for me in dealing with people in addiction. But no, I don't have to give up my old places and my old people. I'm sober. I've been sober for a while now. It's okay. I can hang with those people. I'm not going to use just because they're using me. I'm going to use. I'm like, congratulations, you've already failed. Do you want to be healed? Do you? And as Trish Fenimore also said, I can't control other people's recovery. All I can do is give them the truth of who heals. And that doing the same thing over and over and over is not the answer. So, what's in this for us? Well, I've already kind of tipped my hat on that a bit. From what do you want to be made well, healed, or set free? So that's the first thing you got to do. I've had a couple in my life. I mean, the big one was the big one. I was overweight most of my life. I lost a lot of weight 3 times. I lost 80 pounds when I was still a relatively young man in my late 20s. I lost, about 50 pounds when I was in my late 40s. And then in 2014, I lost about 80 pounds again. Now, at this moment, as I speak to you, I'm about 5 pounds heavier than what I got down to. I started at 220 something, and I got down to like 145. Right now I'm 150. Okay? That's 11 years ago. I've never kept weight off that long. But I came to Christ in 2016, 2 years after I lost the weight. I started putting the weight back on. As of 2023, I got up to 170. It's still a lot lighter than what I had been at my peak, but here's the problem. I was trying to do enough exercise to keep eating more than I can eat, and keep where I'm on my weight. It's trying the same old thing. And God spoke that to me, or July 20th, 2023. He goes, okay, you're doing well, but you are still trying to satisfy something only I can satisfy with your stomach. Not as big as you used to, but you're going to get there eventually. It was life-changing. And slowly I took off 20 pounds. And now God has reset that in me. Do you want to get well, Jerry? Give it to me. And you're not going to want to eat just to eat. You'll eat when you're hungry, and not perfect, but for the most part. I've been made well. I've been healed. I've been set free. The other one is a lifetime of people-pleasing. I do things for people with ulterior motives. And in recent weeks and months, it's been made clear to me, I haven't let go of that. That caused some problems. And Jesus said again, all right, Jerry, do you want to be healed? So what I've just been trying, okay, I'm going to do this with absolutely nothing. I'm not going to expect the person to like me. I'm not going to eat. No. So what is it for you? That's the first thing. And this is because we can fool ourselves. So this is really important. Identify it. Then when you identify it, what have you been trying and failing? I won't get into details. I was having recently, Ramona, she could tell I was engaging in a long time bad habit. And I said, this will be the last time. I thought, oh. How many times has every addict ever said that to themselves? Now I got to clean that up. Lord, I do want to be healed. Has he asked you? Has Jesus asked you if you want to be made well, healed, set free? Has he? I bet he has. Have you heard the question? Were you listening? Or did you say, well, no one will throw me in the water? Jesus asks by saying, are you ready to try something new? Him. That's the key. One more time. From what do you want to be made well, healed, set free? And do you really want to be made well? Do you? Well, of course I do. I had someone say that to me. Well, of course I want to be made well. And then 2 weeks later, I asked again, well, I don't know if I don't know. You know. You got to hear what Jesus asked. What have you been trying? And have you tried it alone? Again, as Jesus asked, what's your answer? Be honest. Identify where you need healing. Ask or listen to Jesus ask, do you want to be? Ask, I want to be healed. And listen to Jesus. Do you? Do you really want to be healed? Okay, let's do this thing. Do that today, and I promise Jesus will hear you. God bless.